stop di sini guys selama 15 menit. Ini suasana di atas sand guys tuh. Gary di bawah. Itu mobil kita yang antar ke sini. Capek juga. That was nice. Suasana di atas.
Great spot to photograph the Milky Way if you can get out there easily, but there's lots of kangaroo ticks in the bushes here. They're made from limestone. They're very old. They were formed about 500,000 years ago.
500,000 years.
The current theory is that they formed around the roots of a forest of very tall trees that grew through the area that was destroyed by fire, like it's flowering at the moment. So the process of the formation of the pinnacles was quite complicated, and they've had a number of different theories over the years, but that's the current theory which they're pretty certain is correct. It's quite possible that some of the pinnacles were old termite mounds that formed around the tree roots as well. They first appeared above ground, they think about 6,000 years ago. They came up with that figure because that's the date of the oldest Aboriginal artefacts they've found in the area. So if they find any that were older than that at some point, then they'll change the date. But at the moment, it was about 6,000 years ago that they first appeared above ground. Then they disappeared again for a long time. The wind covered them back over with sand. And it was only about 400 years ago that they reappeared again. They were only discovered about 80 years ago by us. The Dutch did see them when they were sailing down the coast. They could see them on the top of the crow's nest on their boats, but they didn't get ashore because they couldn't get in because the reef system was extended out too far. So they had it marked on some of their maps, but they just weren't quite sure what it was. They wondered if maybe it was a graveyard or if it was a city that had been abandoned some time ago. The Yuids, who are the traditional custodians, have their own story about the formation of pinnacles at the very far north end of the desert. There's an area called the Pinnacle Desert, which is then separated by some bush, and then there's another Pinnacles Desert, which is the same structure as this one. Out there, the sands do shift around a lot. Pinnacles appear and disappear on a weekly basis, and the Yuids used to tell people not to come around here because if you did, the sand might swallow you up and you disappear. So their story is the pinnacles at the fingertips of people who came out here feel swallowed up by the sand and then reaching up to let you know that they're trapped underneath you. As far as we know, it didn't have any great spiritual significance for them. They did spend time out here. There's not a lot documented about it. Possibly because it was covered over again for a very long time, so the transmission of stories would have been lost. Anyone scared of snakes?
Everyone that's smart.
So out here we get mostly carbon pythons. We do see them quite a bit. They're not poisonous. They're also not very shy, so they don't run away if you come across one. It's a fairly docile snake. They're not aggressive at all. I wouldn't recommend picking one up. They're generally not aggressive. They're commonly kept as pets for that reason. So that's the only snake I've ever seen out here. We do have poisonous snakes out here. Unless you're good at identifying your pythons, if you see a snake, just give it a white. Just think about it. So I do have a snake bite kit on the bus. Apart from that, there's only emus that wander around and occasional kangaroo. We did have a fox out here the other night, which I haven't seen before. Came up to us at dinner, looking for food when we were in the desert on the other side. But that's the first time in 3.5 years I've seen a fox out. And as I said before, normally we're quite busy out here on a Sunday night, but with no international tourists, it's pretty quiet. So this is the observation deck up here. So we're going to do dinner up there, and at this stage we'll move to the other side to do stargazing. We'll set up here for dinner. So we'll make dinner probably around about 6:45. So you've got about 45 minutes to wander around. You shouldn't get lost.
Ini suasana sunset di Pinnacle Desert. Suasana Pinnacle Desert, guys. That one nice there, sunset. Guys, baik ke sini, guys. Malam dia, guys. Dia makan fruit ini, guys. Sunsetnya udah selesai, guys. Dan ini ada 2 ekor kangkung. Dia lagi makan, guys. Makan buah-buahan. Setelah sunset. kita makannya di tengah-tengah sini guys.